Hi, Mike here. You're watching Scout Restoration Yukon. In this video, I will tear down my parts dash, clean up the dash trim, install the trim under the glove box, and clean up the heater control switch. This is not a how-to video. It's a how I do video. I hope you like it. Let's get to work. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out. In front of me is the dashboard that I removed from my white Scout 800. It has several things that I need. It has a full set of dash trim, and it has an original radio. And there'll be some other stuff. So I'm going to start disassembling that. The first thing I'm going to do is turn it over and remove the wiring harness and instrument cluster. So let's get to work. So I'm going to turn this over, let the instrument cluster just hang like that for the time being. So my objective is just to get all these wires free. There's a switch here, 2 green wires and a black wire. It's actually the fuel gauge switch. It switches between the left-hand fuel tank and the right-hand fuel tank. So I'm just going to unplug those 3 wires. And it's well worth noting that the green wire on the left is number 29, and the green wire on the right is number 28. Because most of the numbers on the wiring of the Scout that I'm restoring are missing, I will be able to use this wiring harness in conjunction with the circuit identification table in the service manual as a guide. Right now, a lot of this wiring doesn't look too bad, mixed up with vacuum lines. Just want to feed that over there. So this wire here for the wiper washer. Just putting a bungee cord on here so I don't totally lose control of everything. There's 1 off, 2 off. Most of this harness here, I'll just go through the hole for now. That. Most of this will go through the hole. You just have the power wire to the radio, and of course the cigarette lighter. Looks like if I remove this plate, I can get the rest of the harness out from behind the radio without removing the radio quite yet. So this wiring harness actually seems to be in not a bad condition. See, with that plate out, you see the mice have been in here, but they haven't chewed through any wires. This is actually still a valid harness. Right now, I just want it out of my way. Here is the cigarette lighter. 3/8 socket is getting these speaker nuts. Speaker has holes in it, so we won't be using the speaker. And gently pull the knobs off the radio. Oh, not so gently, is it? Well, we definitely have to get the knobs off. Just try gently prying on them. Okay, there's 1 knob off without breaking it. Because if we break these, they're replaceable. There's another knob off. Now I can see the nuts. So the nuts on the radio are 11/16. Let's crack them loose. Whew. Pretty tight. Just 1 nut. I'm just going to hold the radio. Well, I gotta crack it loose first, of course.
They're surprisingly tight. So I'm using a 5/64 Allen wrench on the set screw to remove the knob off the wiper, off the left-hand wiper switch. So here's the left-hand wiper switch. There's a little nut on there. Take that out. Put that back on there. Put the knob back on. So that's a wiper switch, which is connected to the next wiper switch. So I'll take the two wiper switches out together. Knob. Let's put the knob back on. Tighten it up a little bit. Set it aside. So there's a very faded sticker here. This is the switch for the fuel gauge. But I'm afraid I won't be able to save the sticker. It's just one of those serrated rings. Loosen the nut on the back. There. This is the wiper washer switch. That came out. Throttle. This one here is the choke. Yeah. Cigarette lighter. Just two more things to remove. The wire on here. This cable here. The ashtray, which of course has butts in it.
This knob does two things. If you twist it, it activates the heater vent. If you pull it in and out, the cable adjusts the blend door.
That's really seized on there. Throw a pair of vice grips. Seems like the best way to remove these round clips is to go on the inside. Just bend up those little tabs in the middle. And the pick. There's the radial trim. Looking good. The last piece of trim is here. One more to go.
Attention fellow Scout enthusiasts. Thanks for watching. I hope that you're getting useful insights from my videos. If I can earn 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to create Scout videos for a long time. Please like and subscribe so that we can continue this journey for years to come. I will show all the details. Over and out. Hi, Mike here. After removing the dash trim from my parts dash, I spent considerable time trying to clean it. And I had actually damaged it a little bit myself. I scratched it a little bit when removing the heater fan switch. The first thing I did was I cleaned it with warm soapy water. Then I cleaned it with vinegar. And then I wasn't really getting anywhere. I got to a certain point, and then those scratches, so I took some 400 grit sandpaper and I wet sanded those scratches out. But what happened was I removed the finish, the brushed aluminum finish in this part where I sanded it. So I decided to leave well enough alone. And to try to fix where I sanded it, I put vinegar on it and left it overnight to make it oxidize.
And that seemed to work quite well, but it's not perfect. But I've come to the conclusion, I'm not going to get this dash trim to look perfect. I'm actually going to make it look worse. So I've done as much as I can. It doesn't look too bad, and I'm going for the rustic look. So the next step with this dash trim is I'm going to try waxing it. So let's get to work. So I'm applying Minwax. I have it inside a cloth here. Put it inside a cloth, right? And I can squeeze it, roll it up, squeeze it, warm it up, and I can knead it, and it pushes through everywhere. It's rubbing it on there. Radio trim. But at this point, we're going for the rustic look because we're not going to get anything better than that out of this. So I just heated this a bit with the heat gun, and I'm applying some more wax. So I'm polishing this dash trim with a clean rag. It helps a little bit. It's never going to look new. Here's the first piece of trim going on the dash. Just have to turn it over. So these little clips, I just flatten them out with a hammer. And I'm going to push them on here. There. A pair of pliers. That worked very well. Putting these clips on the convex side up so that they can find a way on there. And I find I can just push them on once I get them started. Tighten them up with a pair of pliers. There's just one more to do here. This one here. Here's the clip. Alright, let's push that on. Like that. Just pick the dash up a little. So that's the first piece of dash trim. Now I'm going to put the heater switch on. So I'm just checking the heater switch for continuity. Then we have continuity there. So it's a functioning switch so far. So good. Now I'll have to clean this up, take these off, clean the connections, and remove the blue paint from this cable, this wire. So that's my next job. I'll try to get some of this blue paint off this connector. So I'm just removing the blue paint from the ends of these wires so I know what color they are, at least. Gently scraping with a scalpel. Then I have to pry up the little tab, of course, little lock tab. That wire goes in there like that. Second wire, which is black. Expose that. So now the blue and the red wires are exposed. A little bit more bloody blue paint. So this portion of the wire is jacketed. The other end goes here. I just want to clean up these terminals. Before I plug this wire onto the switch, I just want to put some dielectric grease in there. I can plug it back in. Yeah. I'll unplug the other one. You can see how corroded that is. That. Try to get this wire off. Doesn't always work. So, putting some isopropyl alcohol in here, like that. Scratching it a bit and blowing it out. Put a little bit of dielectric grease on there. Plug the wire in. Okay. It's a jacketed wire. It's been painted blue. So I'm just going to tape it. The next problem is the blue paint on the cable sheath. That will be very visible under the hood. So I don't know what's going to take that off.
In conclusion, it looks like I have everything I need to finish assembling the dashboard for my 1966 Scout 800. My next video is dash assembly. I hope you like it. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out.